Gamers, good morning, or whenever you're watching this. The Day of Rebirth mini set for Hearthstone is coming out on Tuesday, and I have barely looked at any of the cards in the set, so this is going to be my live reaction to a lot of them. I have seen the Egg of Kalos before, which is a 3-mana 0/3 death rattle summon a slightly cracked egg. Then you have to break it 5 times to hatch it into a 2020, which the 2020, unfortunately, is just a big meatball with absolutely no keywords on it. Unfortunately for this card, as much as I do think it's kind of interesting and there's a lot of ways you can kind of utilize it, it is not playable. I don't think anyone's going to play a 3-mana card that does absolutely nothing for like 5 turns. And even if you do get the 2020, I feel like if you don't have some kind of keyword like rush or taunt or something, I just don't see a way where this is actually going to be playable whatsoever, which is kind of disappointing. I almost wish this was like an epic over a legendary, but maybe I'm completely wrong. This is like a really interesting card to evaluate, but if we're basing this off the expansion that came before this, or like I guess what expansion this mini set is a part of, this card is probably going to be unplayable. So yeah, I guess we'll see no eggs, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's like a secret deck with this. We'll figure it out. All right, then we got Holy Egg Bearer, which if you're probably guessing, that is to draw your egg, which is kind of funny. 2-mana 1/2 battlecry, draw a 0 attack minion. This card has inherent utility when you ever need a 0 attack minion. So in the future, if there ever is a good 0 attack egg or whatever, this is a really good way to find it. 2 mana to draw a specific thing is not the worst thing in the world. If the case for this card was to draw this egg, well, unfortunately for the Holy Egg Bearer, I hardly know her. This card is probably not going to get played whatsoever as well, unless, like I said earlier, you need a specific 0 attack card from your deck, which I can't really think of one off the top of my head right now. There's like that one card from the Whizbang Workshop mini set, or maybe it's just from the actual expansion itself, like Mystery Egg, which could be useful in Hunter, but I'm not that optimistic on it. Devilsaur Mask, 8 mana, set a minion stats to 8/8 and give it charge for Hunter. This card does spark my imagination slightly because when I see the keyword charge, the neurons do get blasted. The unfortunate reality for this card is that it's 8 mana for Hunter, and I don't really see a world where you're really going to build up a combo for Hunter unless there's a very particular minion that you want to use this on. That being said, worst case scenario for like 9 mana, unless you're playing like Wisp, you have like an 8/8 charge, which is 1 mana cheaper than King Crush, which wasn't really playable in Classic to begin with. So if there's a way to get a Wind Fury minion, then we're kind of cooking here, because all of a sudden it's 16 damage. But this card unfortunately might just be a little bit too slow. But like I've said before, this card with Mystery Egg plus this could be something spicy. We're gonna have to wait and see. I don't think this card's absolutely horrific, but I just can't see the vision in my head right now. But we have to be a little careful with minions coming out in the future for Hunter. Beast Speaker Taka, 7 mana 2/2 battlecry, discover a legendary beast from any class to gain its stats and death rattle summon it. When they showed this card initially, I wasn't super excited for it. There's a couple legendary beasts that I think are okay to get from this, but bro, this is this is not a very good card. It's very slow, like it has with the I forget this guy's name already. Kalos doesn't have any keywords on it other than the death rattle, but like your opponent just maybe silences it or kind of just ignores it and you're dead already. It doesn't really go into like any deck in particular either, which is kind of interesting. I don't really see this working out, but the thing is, I haven't seen all the cards in this set, so maybe there's something I'm missing, or there's a legendary beast combo that I'm not considering. But overall, it doesn't really spark imagination and joy like I hoped it would. I will say though, the art is pretty great for this card. Myrex, the crystalline. See that, like, here's the problem, right? Like, this is a beast, right? Like, this is going to take up one of your beast slots. Myrex, crystalline. 3 mana 3/3. While this is in your hand, this is a 3/3 copy of the last minion your opponent played, and it's an elemental and a beast. This card's interesting. It kind of reminds me of Vanessa Van Cleef when it came in the core set I want to see during Forge of the Baron. Vanessa Van Cleef was a 2 mana 2/3 combo. Get a copy of the last card your opponent played or something along those lines. And that card was like very nichely good to the point where like it didn't see like any play. And I'm a little worried for this card. The one reason this card might have potential though is that Rogue currently really likes to cheat out their Fyrak. So if you get like 3-mana copy of Firac, you're pretty happy with it. And there's a lot of like really decent cards that you can get for 3 mana currently in the game. So I wouldn't be like shocked if this saw play whatsoever. I'm just not like losing my mind about it. But when this card hits, it will hit really hard. There's also another good example, which is the 3-mana 3/4 from March of the Lich King from Warrior, which is copy the last spell your opponent played. Kind of the same concept. That card almost saw a lot of play. It did see play in like Control Warrior, I'm pretty sure, but I don't know if Rogue really needs it. But if you're going against a lot of mirror matches for Firac, this card might hit really, really hard. Herbivore Assistant, 3-mana 3/2 battle cry, give a friendly beast +2/+2 in rush. In the original Angoro, this card might slap. In current Hearthstone, this might be a little too slow. I can't even think of a beast you really want to put this on. I think this 3-mana 3/2 is really rough. Kind of a decent amount of stats. Interesting though, if you think of like Shattered Sun Cleric back in Classic, which was like a 3-mana 3/2, give a minion +1/+1. That was in 2014. We're in 2025, gamers. So yeah, in Arena, card might slap, but in Standard, it might be just a little too slow. Unless again, a beast I haven't seen yet. Creator Experiment, 5-mana 3/4 Kindred, summon a copy of this. This is all types. Normally when all types are shown up, I get pretty excited because that fits into a variety of different decks. I do not see a single world where this card gets played. There is maybe one situation which is like buffing it from hand. The best example of a card I can give here is from Descent of Dragons. There was Faceless Corruptor, which was a 5-mana 5/4 with Rush. And then you you transformed another friendly minion into a copy of that. That card was very good. But again, that card was released in 2019 or in 2025. So yeah, maybe in some worlds like Shaman wants this with their quest, but I'm not very excited for a card like this. Story of Umbra, 7-mana, discover a death rattle minion that costs 5 or more, summon it and trigger its death rattle. Because this is for Death Knight, there is a decent amount of death rattles that you might be excited for, but to be honest with you, I'd rather just run the death rattle. Thing is that it does summon the death rattle, so there's like that 8 or 9 mana dude that like summons another death rattle that died this game that could be really, really good. Good work. I'm not really sure where Death Knight really wants to take a card like this. I obviously don't play a ton of Death Knight either, but there's potential. With better death rattles that cost 5 or more, the better this will get. I will say, if this was a Demon Hunter card, this card I think would be very, very good. Soul Rest Ceremony. Okay, so just for the record, this is the last card I saw, I believe. 1 mana, give your minions +1 attack and rush. They die at the end of your turn. What? Give your minions +1 attack and rush. What do you want that for? So I guess like the Pajama Party or the Pillow Fight card. I guess with the egg, you might be excited. I don't know if this is like an aura. Because if it's like, this is the thing that's on the board, then like you're kind of excited to trade the egg in multiple times, but it seems like this is like a one-time buff. So 1 minute for +1 attack is not horrible. I believe it was Mark of the Lotus that was played during, what expansion was that? No more, I want to say No More Egg, but that's not correct. Mean Streets of Gadgeson for the Jade, or no, just for Druid. And that card was kind of good. For Death Knight, I'm not sure how much potential there really is for this, but not horrible to give all your minions +1 attack and rush. So this card might be playable. Hollow Direhorn, 5-mana 5/4 rush. After a friendly minion dies, spend 3 corpses to gain Reborn. Also an undead beast. 5-mana 5/4 for rush is horrible. After a friendly minion dies, spend 3 corpses to gain a Reborn. So I'm assuming the wording of that means the minion itself. After a friendly minion dies, Spain. Oh no, it'd mean like this would get Reborn. Okay, we're just gonna move on. What the hell? I think that's horrible. I could be wrong. I'm actually... What? Even with the infinite potential, that seems really bad. So, okay, I'm just gonna move on. I don't see that working out whatsoever, but I'm kind of shocked. Long Neck Egg, 2-mana 0/2 death rattle, summon a 1/2 beast, give your minions +1/+1. This kind of fits into the Quest Druid deck, which is kind of interesting. You're playing a different egg, so that means that the 2-mana guy who draws a 0/2 may be a little bit more excited to get played, but the problem is they're both the same mana cost, so like you're kind of delaying a turn to play this. Even want this in your quest deck, it doesn't really fill the board either. This is +1/+1 on all minions though, or on all friendly minions when this dies. In worst case scenario, you're getting a 2/3 beast. What's the beast? He's kind of a cutie. Yeah, I don't know. I guess if like aggro-ish druid wants to play this card, it's probably good, but for the most part, yeah, I don't really see it. It seems kind of bad. Seismopod, 9 mana 9. Okay, this is a beast. This is kind of important. It's not legendary though. 9 mana 9/9 taunt, elusive, death rattle. Give all minions in your hand deck +3/+3. That's a scary death rattle. I just can't see a world where druid's going to be able to cheat this out effectively and you're going to be like worried for it. So I feel like it's bad. Hydration Station is still in the game, so like if you really want to like buff up your boys quite a bit, that's kind of fun. If druid had more ramp, maybe this is playable, but I don't see a world where this is playable. Also needs to run, like, it's weird because you want to run ramp, but you also want to run other minions. It's such an awkward card to play, unfortunately. When you discover it though, you might be really happy, but I think this card is just a little too awkward. Your heart guide you whispered, so listen close. I wish, man. Yeah, it's a little slow. If there's more ramp, if druid ever gets a card that cheats out a death rattle though, it's gonna be pretty decent. Panther Mask, 4 mana for set a minion stats to 5/4 and give it stealth and draw 2 cards. Okay, so there's a card in Skullman's Academy. I believe it's called Jungle Panther was the guy from Classic. Twilight Panther, I think was what it was. That's and that card was played with Guardian Animals. And if you had to play it as a 5 mana 5/4, kind of okay with it because you almost got the guaranteed 2 draws. Like that card was fine. This card has a lot of potential. It also is nice because you can have a minion preemptively, and then you get to make it a 5/4 and you draw 2 cards. I mean, as long as you have a minion, this card's probably good enough. This card probably sees play. Seems like a very good card. Druid, like what class doesn't want 2 cards? In worst case scenario, you can attack with a minion and then give it stealth. I love this card. I think this card's very good. I think it has a lot of potential. Horn of Feasting, 4 mana, summon 3 2/1 raptors with rush. Outcast, give them immune while attacking this turn. Oh. Okay, so that is the synergy for quest. So the question ends up being, do I want to play this card over other cards in the quest? Probably not. Not horrible though, man. It's 4 mana to summon 3 2/1 raptors. You also get them on board and you also get additional damage immediately. And you get to choose where it swings. It's tough. I just don't think you want to run this over other cards in Demon Hunter, unfortunately, for the quest. Maybe I'm wrong. I guess this is like maybe the critical mass for the quest, though, but I'm not very optimistic on a card like this. I feel like it's just too slow, man. Which is unfortunate. It doesn't feel like... The worst part is if you don't get the Outcast, though, it feels like it's going to be the worst card on the planet, so... Yeah, I think it's pretty bad, unfortunately, but also fuck Demon Hunter. Yeah, Demon Hunter hater. Is that it? What the hell? Wait, that's it. That's the whole mini set? Okay. Skittish Saucier. Saucy boys. 3 mana 4/2 battle card, reduce the cost of adjacent cards in your hand by 1. What a weird card that is. So I'm spending 3 mana to reduce 2 and I get a 4/2. What? What is this card? And in Rogue, I think this would go crazy. But in Demon Hunter, again, it's so weird because it's like, what am I playing? I guess like big Demon Hunter might want this. I guess the best comparison is like the 2 mana Naga from, what's that set called? Voyage to the Sunken City, I think. That card kind of saw play. Like it outcasts, reduces your most outward cards by 1. I think it's what it did. And that card was kind of okay. Feels really slow. But that one's, this is such a weird card. It's kind of hard. Like, God, if the cards that they're next to just don't, yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of coping a little bit here. I don't see it. Dibolus Rex, sure. 6 mana, 6/5 Kindred. Deal 6 damage to your opponent's left and rightmost minions. Okay, does that mean that it does 6 damage to both? It's got a big head and little arms. That's from Meet the Robinsons. I love that movie. I feel like that is kind of bad as well. It really depends on if it does 6 to both. If that is the case, then it might be a really good swing card, but what Demon Hunter deck wants this is the bigger problem. Like the issue is like Demon Hunter really wants to play that like Death Rattle package. Demon and Beast. God, if you don't get the Kindred, it's so bad. Kindred hasn't been a very good expansion keyword, unfortunately, so I'm thinking this is bad, unfortunately. Said unfortunately like 8 times there, but whatever, it is what it is. I'm not really feeling it. Tribute Dance, 5 mana. Give or choose a minion, choose a different minion to transform it into. Choose a minion, choose a different minion to transform it into. Interesting. So if I compare this to like Polymorph is a 4 mana to transform a minion into a 1/1, and that card was obviously used defensively for the most part. This card has the chance of being very offensive, which I think is like kind of interesting. Also a really interesting card to like, there's a lot of ways to utilize this. This is what my brain's kind of turning here. I think it's like you need a very particular case for this. If you don't have that very particular case, this card feels like it might just sit in your hand for a while, but Mage doesn't have Polymorph anymore. Mage often sometimes just has trouble dealing with big minions, and that could be the case, but I want this to be good. It's so funny, and it could have the chance of being insane. I don't really understand the art here, but I mean, I guess they're dancing for a tribute, but I'm leaning towards this card is probably not good enough, but there's a chance. There's a chance, and that's the chance is what I want here. Hechisaurus. 7 mana 3/6 taunt. That feels really weird to Mage. Cost 1 less for each card played this game that didn't start in your deck. Considering Mage wants to discover a lot of cards, this is often going to be like 0 mana. But again, it's like, do you really need a 0 mana 3/6 in Mage? Probably not. What the, like this card feels so weird. Also, what is going on here, man? This is the weirdest art ever. I just don't see this card being played, unfortunately. I think even like Quest Mage doesn't want this. Sheep Mask. Oh, I was just talking about how Mage doesn't have Polymorph anymore. That's interesting. 4 mana, set a minion stat to 1/1. Give it Death Rattle, deal 2 damage to all minions. Oh. The problem is that you're not transforming the minion. You're only setting a minion to 1/1, which probably might be okay. I think the bigger issue is that like because you're not transforming, that might be extremely relevant, because like if you got to transform like the Death Rattle Demon Hunter stuff, it's way better than setting it to a 1/1. I'm really iffy on this card. I feel like it might have potential, but it's also really weird. It's like this. It's like it could be so good, but you need very particular circumstances for it. But the fact is like against aggro, it might be too slow because you're not transforming and you need to still kill the minion. And then on top of that, like against the big minion, you're playing the minion for the effect, right? This ain't like imagine doing this card on Rag. Like you'd be like, what the hell? Man, I'm feeling that this is not going to be very good, but maybe if you discover in the right circumstances, it might be okay. For some reason, I really like the art here, but I don't know what it's looking at. Ritual of Life. 2 mana, discover a 3-cost minion, summon a 2/2 copy of it. Okay. So good comparison here is probably Creature of Madness. Creature of Madness is the 2 mana 1/2 that discovers a 3-cost with Dark Gift. So would I rather have the Dark Gift or would I rather have the 2/2 immediately? That is an excellent question. I have to remember what 3-costs are in the game. I'm too lazy to think about that. Biggest one I could think of is like the 3 mana 3/4 that gives you like an Unholy and Shadow spell. That could be really good for the quest deck. It's also Holy, speaking of the quest deck, so that might be okay. Maybe you want this for the quest deck then. Maybe this actually really helps the deck. I can't think of anywhere else you'd really want to play this. So I guess if like Quest Priest wants this is fine. What other priest deck is there? There's like the Protoss one that probably doesn't want this, so maybe has potential. if Quest Priest wants it, it's not bad. Oh god, what is this name? Atlasaurus? Sure. 8 mana 5/10 taunt, death roll, summon a random taunt minion that costs 5 or more. What the fuck? 8 mana 5/10 taunt. So that's a little weak stats for like 2025 Hearthstone. Summon a random taunt minion that costs 5 or more. This is the type of card that could just win the game in the spot though, depending on what you get. Because it's from any class or neutral pool, and there's some really good taunt minions in the game. Like if you got Tortola on Priest, like it's probably just GG. But the variance here is really whack. It's hard to imagine. Rest in Peace is a card, I guess, so you can keep on resummoning this. There's also no way to cheat it out as far as I'm concerned. It just might be too slow. You get Arena, this card's going to be so annoying to deal with, to be honest. So that is kind of good. But I think in current standard, like Priest really wants a way to cheat this out. And like, if you don't get that way, I feel like there's just better stuff to do, right? So yeah, I just don't, God, I just can already picture in my mind getting tilted from a card like this. So that's pretty funny. Behemoth Mask, 7 mana, set a minion stats to 8/10 and give it lifesteal. Force a random enemy minion to attack it. Oh, we're really making any minion the Colossus now. Okay. So like the one for Druid, as long as you have a minion in play, this card kind of slaps. So 8/10 and lifesteal, and you force a minion to attack. God, that seems so good for 7 mana. I guess like this is kind of nice for it. So you have a minion on board that's already, and then you play this card might be really good. I mean, this might fit like really nicely into Protoss Mage, right? Because like your minions cost like start to get really close down to 0, and then it starts to end up being like really, really annoying. I feel like this card might have potential. It's actually a really interesting card. Priest might play for this card because of just how annoying it might be, but you need a very particular minion. You need to be able to play this on turn 7. I feel like the longer the game goes, like this is almost unplayable, but there is a chance here. There is a chance here. I'm surprised this isn't Shadow, but I guess just the mask. Is there like a festival going on in the Angoro place? Like what's happening here? But cool. Fire Breath. Okay. 3 mana, deal 4 damage, give your elementals +1/+1. I mean, it is kind of nice that they gave the elemental package some more stuff, some more juice. Card seems very good. 3 mana, deal 4. So Lava Burst was 3 mana, deal 5, and Overload 2, and that card was played. This card doesn't have the Overload. Also an additional fire spell. So it makes Fire Rack, I guess, a little bit better on average. There is the elemental synergy in the game currently for Shaman, and it helps you fight for board while getting a bigger board. Seems pretty good. I guess it might depend on if elemental shaman wants to get played, but that's a good step in the right direction for that archetype. So sure, I'm for it. Poor Totem, 2 mana 0/4. At the end of your 0/4 at the end of your turn, get a random minion with multiple minion types. Okay, so do you play this in Quest Shaman? That means you have all types, which proc your quest a lot faster. So if Quest Shaman needs a deck like that or a card like this could be really, really good. I don't know where else this fits, unfortunately, for Shaman, but that, like, if you go Quest into this, that could be just really good. Like, if this helps you get, it depends on what all minions are actually in the pool, because like we saw the 5 mana dude, and the 5 mana dude's kind of ass. So hold on, I'm actually going to check this real fast in standard. What do we got here? We have minion. Okay. Hold on, I'm just pulling up the Hearthstone website. Why is the Hearthstone website so bad? Like, what the hell? Like, I'm guessing when it says all 2, it's like, so there's like 1. Hello? Is there no way to reduce this down? Like, am I stupid? I guess there's not. Well, let's look at the neutral pool. Like, what the frick? I know there's more. I'm gonna assume there's like the 1/1 or the 1 cost and like a couple of other dudes that are pretty bad. I don't even really need to go through this that much. Like, it's weird that like you can't only look for all, like, what the hell? Maybe if I open the Hearthstone client, but then I'm too lazy at that point. There's this one as well. I mean, it seems like it's kind of slow. I mean, if you hit if there's a 2-mana one that I'm missing, then like this card gets a little bit better, but you're basically hoping you hit the 1-drop and that's it. Because the rest of them are just maybe too slow. I guess this gets more value like after the quest as well, but you're not like losing your mind about this, I think, unfortunately. So it's probably just not that good. But maybe if Quest Shaman needs it, it might be good played. I just don't know where else. Fieldspine Stegodon. 4-mana 3/4 battle card, deal 2 damage to 2 random enemy minions, kindred, and freeze them. Okay. 4-mana 3/4 is rough. Battle card, deal 2 damage to 2 random enemy minions is fine. If you do freeze them, then you have kind of a potential in the elemental deck, but God, it is an elemental and a beast, which could be relevant for your quest. So if you get poison on this kind of slaps. This does fit like the Quest Shaman and or the elemental deck, so like maybe the question is that playable? Like that's gonna be the defining factor here. Shaman ones are weird. I do think this card's very good, but you kind of need the deck to support it, so we'll have to end up seeing what happens. But so far, like Shaman actually got some good cards compared to some of the other classes here, so we'll see how it goes. Hunter. Raptor Nest Nurse, 1-mana 1/1 battle card, get a random 1-cost minion to death, or I'll get a random 1-cost spell. Isn't that insane? I slot it in to like any deck, like that's good. Fits in aggro, fits into like a slow hunter deck if you really need extra value. Seems good. Like, I mean, why wouldn't you play this? Also fits with the deck with like that Neri legendary that they got this set. I think this card's very good. Seems pretty easy to slot into a lot of stuff. Onkeladon, load in. I'm sure there's a reference to all this shit, but I don't know what it is. 8-mana 7/7 taunt death rattle, summon 2 random 3-cost beasts. They attack random enemies. Well, that it's unfortunate. We'll just move on. Okay, we saw the Devilsaur Mask. I mean, this card's unplayable. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna talk about it. What the hell? I mean, hold on. Maybe if I think about this a little longer, like, does Big Beast Hunter exist? Yeah. Okay. Fire Gill, 2-mana 3/2 kindred. Give your other minions rush. Or Paladin. Hey, Paladin really likes Murlocs. That fits into the Murloc deck. And there's a card from Skullman's Academy called Animated Broomstick, which is maybe one of the best cards this game has ever released. I feel like that card doesn't get enough. It doesn't have a reputation like some of the other cards in this game, but that card was so annoying to deal with, and it was so good. This card is 2 mana. It's a Murloc for Paladin that you're gonna run in your Murloc deck. Probably 4. Like, Paladin just runs this shit. It's super, super good, it seems like. It's like the first card I think I've seen where I'm like, hey, auto include. Like, you get in there. Hatching Ceremony, 3 mana. At the end of your next turn, give your minions +2/+2. Man, like, the problem with cards like this is that you're spending 3 mana not to develop your board, and then you're hoping that your board stays alive, and you're skipping a turn. Like, this is not going to be ran into the Murloc Paladin, and you're probably never playing this. Maybe there's like some reality where you can get a really good 4-cost card that gets +2/+2, but probably not going to get played. Hero's Welcome, 8 mana, discover a legendary minion to summon, set its stats to 10/10. Well, I mean, often you're running legendaries for their battle cries, and you're just getting a 10/10 in stats. Sometimes it will be really, really good, and I guess it works with Ursol, which is kind of fun, but why am I picking this card over like anything else? Like, competitively, this card doesn't seem that good, but there are going to be situations where this card ends up being pretty great, and that's fun. But I just don't think it's going to be good competitively, unfortunately. And this makes me sad. Costume Merchant. Okay. Rogue better get some shuffle cards in, please. Smile. Costume Merchant. 3 mana 1/3. Battle card, get a random mask from another class that costs 2 less. Okay, so we've seen the mask so far. What's that Warlock one? We'll see that one soon. Panther Mask is disgusting if you end up getting it. Oh, is Devilsaur Mask? Okay, maybe. It's 3 mana though? Like, what the fuck? Nah, there's no way. 3 mana for this is horrible, and you have to combo it. No way. Bat Mask, 8 mana, set a friendly minion stat to 1/1, fill your board with copies of it. Dude, this card has sauce out the ass. It's just in current standard, what card do I want to copy? I can't think of one. In Wild with Blood Bloom, I think that card's called, where like your next spell costs health. I think this card may have some crazy potential here, and that card looks really exciting in Wild. Standard, there's no way. What card do I even want to copy at this point? Maybe Insidious. Insidious is like the only card that comes to my mind because you get a bunch of +1/+1s, but like you're only shuffling 5 eruptions. No. In Wild, I think there's potential. Maybe at some point if there becomes a minion that wants to be copied, but I just don't see it. Okay, Rogue once again. What the hell is this ordering? Crystal Tusk. You made a 2/2 weapon. Battle cry. Shuffle the leftmost card in your hand into your deck. Death roll. Draw 2 cards. What? Okay, so quick pick was 2 mana for a 1/2 that after you attack, you draw a card. 2 mana, you shuffle the 1 card in, then you draw 2 later. So it is 1 extra proc, which is nice. And you fight for the board, then you draw 2 cards. So you can maybe, this is an interesting one. Does Quest Rogue want this? The interesting thing about this is like you could actually, well, 2 mana, okay. 2 mana to draw. I mean, the thing is you're shuffling a card and you're spending this card. So like you are technically drawing 2, but you're not really gaining 2. The only good thing about this is that this is good for the weapon. 2 attack though is not optimal for a card like this. No. Maybe this pushes Quest Rogue in a direction where you're feeling pretty confident about playing it, but yeah, I just look. It's so like this one's hard to evaluate. I want to say it helps Quest Rogue a lot, but like I mean, what am I? I'm like bronze 3 at this point. Like what the what the hell? It's tough. It's I just don't. Man, I really wish it was like after you attack, shuffle a card into your deck, draw a card or something like that. But maybe that's too good. Maybe Quest Rogue's playable. I hope it is. I really like the deck. It seems fun. Guard Duty, 7 mana. Summon a random 6/4 and 2 cost taunt minion. Okay, hold on. We gotta check what minions are available here. Hold on. Because this is actually kind of relevant. 6/4. Oh wait, hold on. Let me make this big. 6/4/2 in keywords. Taunt. A lot of keywords in this game. Holy shit. Okay. That's in standard. God, I've never seen anyone play the card. 2 is not horrible. Some decent cards. 4. Blob would be really, really good. 4 mana 6/6 is not bad. There's actually some decent ones here. 6 is cracked. Holy, 6 is good. In a game where you want to play Quest Warrior, this card kind of goes crazy. I like it. I actually think it's pretty good. Okay, I'm down. Okay, Guard Duty, I'm in. That seems like, man, some of the 6 costs are so good here. All right, seems good. Barricade Basher, I hardly know her. 3 mana 4/3. Whenever you gain armor, gain +2/+2 and attack a random enemy minion. Just skip that one. Probably not playable. There's just no way. Like that's too weak. The Great Draco Rex, 8 mana 5/12 rush. After this attacks an enemy, it damages all other minions. Oh, other enemy minions, sorry. I was thinking about Deathwing here. I was like, is that comparable to that? That's a really interesting card. 5 mana to deal, right? 8 mana to deal 5 to the whole enemy board, and you get to pick what you attack. I think as Warrior also could cheat this out, right? That's a really interesting. I kind of like it a lot. I think it's good. I think you just played in Warrior. Like, it just seems fine. Like, the chances of a board surviving against this is, like, very unlikely. Like, your opponent kind of needs to answer this. It does force your opponent to... It does force, like, you to always attack an enemy minion. But other than that, like... It's very, very good. Warrior got 2 good cards here, I'm pretty sure. Like, I think this card's really, really strong. This card sucks, but, like, this card seems very, very good. 7 into 8 seems so good. Yeah, Warrior looks great. Possessed Animancer. Okay, what do we got here? 6 mana 2/2 death rattle, summon a random beast from your deck and give it lifesteal. Whoa, 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 whoa. What beast can we cheat out with this? This card reminds me of Possessed Lackey all the way back from Kobolds and Catacombs. So hold your horses here, gamers. I'm looking up what we can get here. I don't even know what Beast Warlock has. Okay, hold on. Let's talk about this guy first before. Asphyxiodon, 8 mana 6/10 taunt. At the end of your turn, deal 5 damage to a random enemy minion. Okay, so the rest of the beasts don't seem very good here. So unless there's one for neutral, let me just double check I'm not missing something here that I think is really, really good. Beach whale is interesting, I guess. Frog is something as well. This one has somewhat potential. The fact is that you're like cheating it out is really, really good. God, that is such an interesting card here. The thing is, like, if they ever, like, you also got lifesteal too, so it's like this card kind of slaps. This card's unplayable without this card though. So if this card's good, then obviously this card's bad. This card's unplayable. This has the chance, man. I don't know. Possessed Lackey was so good. It was such a strong card back in the day. The fact you're giving a minion lifesteal is really, really interesting. I could see it. Is that the card? Is that the cards for these set? I mean, overall, like, I was hoping for more quest support here. I don't feel like we got enough, unfortunately, but some of the cards seem interesting. This card ends up being good. I have no idea. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this quest, or this mini set, I should say. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.